Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and Nick Burafedo is reminding us of something. The top 4 sellers on Link2 are currently all available. That includes Ripple, their private equity in Ripple. It includes Uphold, includes Link2. I own all 3 of those. This is the only one, Carbon is the only one that I don't own any of right now. If you're interested in these or the other 20 private equity investments, you can go to Link2, linqto.com, and check it out. And I'll put a link to in the top of this description too. They are one of my sponsors, and I am a customer. Okay, I like this because I think this is right. 99% of the XRP community will get shaken out at $10. I do believe, I don't know about 99%, but I believe that a great majority of people that own XRP will be gone by $10, especially the ones that have been waiting a long time. I think that'll happen. Let me have a sip of my afternoon cup of coffee. Oh, that's good. Sometimes, my wife makes fun of me because I'll drink coffee at any time of the day. But when I was a kid, both of my mother's parents, both of my grandparents, now this is South Georgia, okay? My grandparents sat on a screen porch and I'm talking about when they're retired, every day of their lives. They would drink coffee from the time they woke up until the time they went to bed, and they would be drinking coffee on the porch, on the screen porch, when I would go over there in the middle of the summertime when the temperatures were 80 and 90 degrees. They'd be sitting out there drinking coffee. So I was raised by some serious coffee drinkers. So yeah, I drink coffee all the time. Okay, moving along. This is interesting. Jeff at ISO_XRP had posted this. I had shown you some Madoff stuff before. Listen to this clip. This is Chris Dodd back during the whole SEC thing with the Bernie Madoff case.
Describes a number of very critical instances in which the SEC staff failed to seek information. You've just enumerated these in your testimony. Getting information from third parties to verify Mr. Madoff's claims about his trades. Steps as simple as sending a letter that was already drafted, in fact, in one case. A drafted letter just needed to be sent. That probably brought an end to this thing years ago. Or making a single phone call to the Depository Trust Corporation or the National Association of Securities Dealers, NASD, would have just a single phone call. Is that what you're saying? That's a single letter being sent. A single phone call, having been made, in your view, could have brought this to a screeching halt and exposed it for what it was.
Yes, fair? That's right. The concern was that they would get tremendous amounts of information that would take a long time to peruse. But in fact, of course, since Madoff wasn't engaged in trading, they would have received very little information, and immediately they would have seen that on certain days that Madoff was claiming in customer statements he had $2 billion in options, for example. There are no records of those.
He made no trades.
That's right. I mean, he had a broker-dealer operation and he had firm trades, but it was in very different amounts. There was certainly, we actually, during the course of our investigation, we went to DTC and we got specific dates. For example, the date that Madoff testified before the SEC, and we compared the documents, the customer statements, with the documents from the DTC, and immediately we saw that there was there was no question that Madoff wasn't making anywhere near the volume that he said he was. And with respect to the NASD as well, I mean, there are entities that clear trades. Those are independent entities. Madoff can't give them documents. Those documents are independent. And had they done that, they would have uncovered the scheme.
Yeah. So
let me give you a parallel here. The SEC right now could get a company like Chainalysis, or one of these companies that goes into the blockchain and they can track all the transactions back to where they are. They could literally take and I believe the list, I believe TAIG or someone has shown the list of the disguised whale purchasers in the Ethereum ICO. The SEC could get a company like that today and go and track who those buyers were. They could do it today. All right, and just a little reminder, based on Gary Gensler's own words, we've played all the video here. In his own words, the SEC could right now go after the Ethereum founders for the Ethereum 1.0 security issuance, the Ethereum 2.0 security issuance that's in progress. They could also go after them for their staking product, which pays interest, as well as their borrowing product. Joseph Lubin has bragged about how they've got lending and borrowing, all kinds of products. And they could do that. And I'm asking, where's the lawsuit? They could do it all right now, today. All right, now, be prepared to be angry. Now, part of this is going to be a video you've seen before, but it's necessary that I play it again to really let this hit home. Because today, Riz XRP made me aware of this interview, this fireside chat that David Schwartz did. And I went and watched it. And when I watched it, this clip at the beginning is what I got out of it. And I said, well, I'm just, even if you have seen the Gary Gensler, Tim Draper thing before, I'm going to tack it onto the end of this so that this can really hit home. And we're going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to watch it with you. You can never see this enough times to really understand what's going on. And I told Congress to pay attention because you have an SEC that's hindering U.S. competitiveness in the world because it's captive to Wall Street incumbent interests instead of looking out for the best interests of the people of this country. Listen up.
We have the technology to allow every financial institution on the planet to settle with every other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction in any asset in seconds for less than a penny. Just think about this. Anyone who's made a payment knows that we're nowhere near that today. But imagine every financial institution settling with every other financial institution in seconds for less than a penny, any asset. That's fundamentally transformative. We have the technology to do it. Now we just need to figure out how to drive the adoption. And of course, there's all the challenges with there's incumbents, there's regulation, there's inertia. There's the big players who are really trying to defend. If you're one of the largest banks in the world, you want to push pause or stop on technology because you're in the lead.
Or get your buddies to sue them.
You say you love technology, but obviously you wish you could stop it. So. All those challenges.
And if you mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs can?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
feel the panic in their voices.
What's the line
but here's
of business that is most
well. Here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along. The powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. They're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing too. They adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No, it's after. It's after the press planning. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh God, this thing's happening. And then they go, okay, what are we going to do? How do we get it? So then they either make or buy.
Do we see how this is working, folks? Okay, James Phelan had put this out that the SEC filed a motion of extension of time to respond to Ripple's motion to strike the supplement. This is kind of just another procedural thing, but he was basically saying doesn't make any sense for Ripple to even stall them. They were only asking for a few days. Then Eleanor Terrett weighed in today. She says, I always make a point of reaching out to both the SEC and Ripple for comment when any news breaks in the case. In response to my email from Friday, I received a "we decline to comment" from the SEC on the decision to deny their motion to strike Ripple's fair notice defense. So they don't want to talk about it. Makes sense to me. Now, this happened today after my last video. The Economic Committee of the EU Parliament, they voted against the de facto proof of work ban. So Bitcoin gets to survive in the EU, is my understanding of that. John Deaton has put together another one of his great threads. The day the SEC versus Ripple case was filed, claiming present-day XRP constitutes unregistered securities, and every day thereafter I've argued tribalism is the greatest threat to crypto. Many Ripple and XRP haters either celebrated or ignored it, living in their tribal bubble. Many of it, and anyway, I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but John is retweeting one of the major tribalists' tweet about Jake Chervinsky from the Blockchain Association, the same association that has never done anything major to support Ripple or John Deaton and his XRP holders, 65,000 plus. And this guy is well aware of what's going on. So John's retweeting that, and he's basically telling those guys, those guys are the problem, folks. Hey, Oseko Carmona sent me this. Breaking massive cyber attack on Israeli government websites. Israeli security official tells Israeli media it's the largest cyber attack, I guess, ever. I don't know if that's what they meant to say. Emergency situation declared. Things are getting interesting, folks. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Emergency situation is declared.